Except we call that light hope. Exploration and trials. Adventuring is
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. No. Now there's a question I want. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Aminoma, Futsu, the art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, was first taught to them personally. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. And for a long time, only the Aminoma. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, if my memory serves me right, you yourself...
Oh yeah, we were! Paimon, we learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then too. It seems like...
That, my friend, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch, there is no harm in telling you. The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous rampage.
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic... Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives. Mr. Niwa and the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. Finally, he made a drastic decision. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the... But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree... That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit. On to the next step.
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid...
Are they out on...
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the Commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I think it should be okay.
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there some... Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, as for the commissioner himself, well, you know.
So pretty much business as usual.
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But I'm sure you must be far too busy to... Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. She seems so thrilled to have you as a friend, and she's always saying how talented you are and how much she admires you. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. So you're not just Miss Kamisato's knight in shining armor, you know. You're a hero to us all.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry.
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.
What'd they do this time?
Our bond is strong.
Fallen leaves, adorn my...
Rap from the sky!
Stand with me.
Rev the engines!
Be gone. Our bond is strong. I'll settle this out of my sight.
Wind strike!
Light of the blazing sun!
This body belongs to ice and snow. Stand with me.
my eyes just...
Xavier? What are you doing?
I was in the general area and...
We have some questions and thought you might be able...
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here. If there's anything you want to know, just ask. Like the back of my hand. Make no mistake, I have been here a good many times before. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years... Oh, well, it's a long story. I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes...
A couple?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a long way. How about that?
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about the...
Oh, I didn't realize you...
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know...
What brought this on? Did you just... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? No, I can't say that I have. I do know the word, Inazuman, for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across... Of course! Don't mention it.
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. More than happy to help. Farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile. Come on. All right.
Time to go. Hey, it's them.
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to join us once more.
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh?
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh? Oh!
I presume you'll want to read...
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler, remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could...
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically...
Wow, so many new
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. You heard this from a member of the Amanoma clan, you say? Then I guess it must be true. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days, to the extent that harming them was conceived of, at least by the perpetrator.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are...
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and
You're welcome. See ya.
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything else.
Will do. Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon. Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night... The balladeer? You look troubled. Is there... Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the balladeer... But how is he? As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If so... So, you believe this person really existed? Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to do this. The Traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. It's quite incredible when you think about it. Paimon's having a hard time understanding. I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died, right? Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if the story makes sense, the balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded. Yeah, it does make sense. It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything. Please wait a moment. Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he is. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked. You should take a look. Is this A fairy tale? I authored this record myself. Huh? You? When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that— Hold on. So this record— Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the kabuki changing the information in Irminsul changed, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. That's incredible! And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with, but if we connect all the different pieces together— There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity, yet they are too foolish to see it. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree who had been abandoned by the humans. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames, and die for your fox kin." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds. We solved it! I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his very own memories. To become a god, he was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and the only reason he was able to survive is that he was a puppet. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept that creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory for later use. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it wouldn't be altered. It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone Paimon has no memory of him at all. The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own— It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was— This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the questions still— So the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth. When you give someone the truth, you give them a chance to choose their own destiny. To others looking on, This may seem like a pointless endeavor, but never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat?
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head?
You got it! Come on, traveler! You need to get out of your... Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help cheer you up.
Try and stop me!
We're here! What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. What is it? Have you... Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look.
Hey! Hey, wait!
You mean...
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be hard to focus.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here. I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon I won't be able to afford to.
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me.
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all...
Leave it to me. I'll find some more.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I...
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight.
Yeah. This...
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Steal... Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should... Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with? You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely...
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What?
Huh?
You were right!
I guess you do know me after all. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all the... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my...
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his carts.
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with...
Then let's return to the city.
Full throttle!
Here you go, boss.
Oh, you really went and picked...
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go where...
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is it... But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing...
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years. I just hope you find your path.
Thank you. All right, done.
Try and stop me!
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the sudden intrusion.
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way call themselves Shugenja.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past on...
I wouldn't call it the past. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often. But in your case...
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes. Something far more distant than the...
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like if it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me the truth.
Is truth something you care?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be... You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. You drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or you'll never be happy.
I gave everything I had.
In terms of the outcome alone...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time. A chain of cause and effect. A cycle of karma.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong.
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable in a...
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random stranger we met on the street! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of...
Yes, it's all true. I can...
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your presence...
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is nothing in this world for me to cling to.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your,
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information. These memories will show you the raw truth.
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve...
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right. Thanks.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation.
Is that because this is kind of like...
You could say that in...
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite There's someone... You're awake. What happened? How'd you get stuck here? Are you injured? Not a scratch.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the Balladeer in Shake Pavilion and took him back to Tatarasuna.
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor disguised as a mechanic. The Balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared not long after. As the second-in-command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Mikoshi Nagamasa. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence, Nagamasa killed him to put an end to the Tatarasuna incident.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
This is where you were born? It's pretty, but...
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but there's nothing for us here. We can't stay.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died, and then my dad got sick. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom started coughing.
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like...
What happened to the child?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer...
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks...
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon, one that could be wielded with an iron will.
No excuse
for trying to win me over?
Fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
This place is dark.
Paimon knows that in the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the ball.
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there.
Well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you Being tossed out like trash must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does she think she is? Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Looks like we have arrived in Sumeru.
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your—
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes.
In your eyes, are there any differences?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your Are you sure you want to do that?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since but then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins, I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. So I beg you, grant me this.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end. This is trying my patience. You got any more stupid questions? Feeble human! Nothing worth mentioning. At my command, you shall fall. Cry louder. My imbecile! Get out of...
It disappeared?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too! What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least...
The memory recovery seems to have been a success.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should... After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events...
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see in that changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will...
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul.
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, and including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened? I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor, and I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be... I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Which is everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway...
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that much.
Then I hope we don't see much.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name...
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name...
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, alright. If you say...
There! Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to...
You mean the Fatute?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, even though the events have been erased from the world...
I see. Huh? But...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they... No nonsense. Alright, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone! What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in...
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, so we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax.
I've got it! I can end my novel with...
You mean because everyone...
Yeah! I heard that the dark clouds had Then, one night, as an old man, he had all these expressions of joy. Life is a story too long to be told.
As you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, good! Huh? Look at that. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the rumors?
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking?
Unfortunately, the fate of THad cannot easily be changed. When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result...
Who are you?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of no... And it feels wrong just leaving it.